Good day to you, and this is some comments and ideas on a newspaper report from The Independent, which is meant to be, independent. What a name that is. And, I read it yesterday. I thought to myself, hello, what's going on here? And so the links below, I really invite you to have a look at it and see if you can see any anomalies before you listen to what I have to say. So anyway, it starts off, white Muslim convert defies judge as he is jailed for terror offences. And then it says underneath, when ordered to stand, he refused saying, I don't wish to stand up because I believe ruling and judgment is only for Allah. So, you've got this situation where guy, not only did he want to blow up UK civilians, allegedly, but he wouldn't stand up for the judge, And so here it goes. Richard Dart, probably known to his friends as Dick Dart, I love the names, the middle-class boy from Dorset who turned into an Islamic extremist. How did he turn into? How does a person turn into an Islamic extremist? How does a middle-class person from Dorset turn into an Islamic extremist in the UK? How does that really work? Now I'm not saying that converting to, anyone converts to Islam is going to turn up as an Islamic extremist. I'm sure there are many people who convert to Islam that are quite peaceful. But, how did that work? And what was going on in his mind? And how sane is it for a middle-class person to end up turn into an Islamic extremist? How long did it take him, I wonder? Anyway, he remained defiant to the bitter end as a judge gave him an extended jail sentence for being a dangerous terrorist today. Right? So he's now become a dangerous terrorist, even though he didn't actually hurt anybody, as we'll see in a minute. The 30-year-old son of teachers from Weymouth, son of teachers, who shocked his family when he became a militant Muslim, sat in the dock, clad in a skull cap and traditional dress, as he was sentenced after pleading guilty to preparing for acts of terrorism. Right. I'd like to have seen the footage of him preparing for it. I wonder what that means. Does that mean sitting in your room in front of the computer, sending a couple of text messages or Facebook messages? Anyway, when ordered to rise, he said, I don't wish to stand, as we heard before. Dart, the Old Bailey heard, had talked of terror attacks in the UK, of wreaking devastation on Wootton Bassett. You can imagine him he did this with two other people, hi, shall we wreak devastation on Wootton Bassett? A town for many years, now this is a bit weird, gathered to honour the funeral corteges of dead soldiers or MI5 and MI6 targets. Now, I think that's actually should have read MI5 and MI6 agents, but it's an interesting Freudian slip, isn't it? And then it says, he travelled to Pakistan carrying thousands of pounds to pay for training with the local Taliban, a militant group known for mass suicide attacks on civilians. So apparently he went to Pakistan with thousands of pounds, right, of cash, to pay for training with the Taliban, as if do the Taliban have some kind of training program? It's like an official Taliban training program, like a university course. And then it says he failed and he was forced to return to the UK. It's like, he failed? What, do they have exams? How to be a suicide bomber? Exams? What, did he fail the written exam, the practical? Anyway, his defence was that civilians were not his target. Instead, he wanted to fight NATO soldiers in Afghanistan. So he pleaded guilty, but he had his mitigating circumstances that the civilians were not his target. Today, Dart, a former BBC security guard from Ealing, and his two fellow accomplices were jailed for a total of more than 20 years. I always find it funny when they say they put all the times together for a total of 20 years, as if putting the number of years together means anything. Anyway, then what else is there? The judge told Dart and Mahmoud, I'm satisfied to the required criminal standard that neither of you had ruled out an attack on the United Kingdom. You hadn't ruled it out. I mean, can you imagine what they sat there, the three of them, and they never said, we rule out an attack on the United Kingdom. They never ruled it out. And that you, Mahmoud, were looking at arming yourself with a bomb. You were looking at, where were you looking? Where were you looking? You were looking at arming yourself with a bomb. I mean, I couldn't have written this stuff. It's absolute genius. It's clear that you are all committed fundamentalists. You're a committed fundamentalist. That's what I like. I like fundamentalists that are committed. We don't want uncommitted fundamentalists whose ultimate intent was to commit acts of terrorism. Your ultimate intent, that's right. So what else is this? Then you've got Jahangir Alam, a failed police community support officer. What does that mean? What is a failed police community support officer? What, did he get sacked for failing, or did he fail the exams? And he's also a territorial army soldier from Stratford who travelled with Dart to Pakistan, right? Was jailed for 4 years and 6 months. So what else is there? Then you've got Mark Topping, specialist counter-terrorism lawyer for the Crown Prosecution Service. Mark Topping. I love the names. Topping. Said, when Richard Dart and his friends were making plans for two of them, Dart and Alam, to fly to Pakistan, they did not expect those travels to lead them to the dock at the Old Bailey and jail. No, they didn't. That's probably because they probably went to Pakistan to just to hang out and see what the place was like, or, I don't know, to go to the beach. No, they didn't do that, no. But this case serves as another reminder that those who take steps to travel abroad for the purposes of preparing for terrorism can and will be prosecuted here in the UK. So be aware, if you go to Pakistan, make sure you don't go there for the wrong reasons. Oh dear. What have they got here now? Although the men did not identify any specific targets for an attack, no, they didn't actually, they were just kind of chatting about general attacks, right? Their determination and intent were very clear. The training that Dart and Alam sought, and which Mahmoud attempted to assist with, would have taught Dart and Alam the skills and techniques necessary to commit acts of terrorism, both abroad and in the UK. Mahmoud had already undertaken training and was already asking Dart for help in locating a book that would allow him to make homemade explosives. This was a prosecution that was based on the most high-tech and sophisticated evidence gathering available. Yes, it sounds like it, of course. These state-of-the-art techniques not only left the defendants little choice but to plead guilty, as well as perhaps some other gentle persuasion, but also increasingly restrict the ability of terrorists to hide their intentions from the authorities. That's why we have to make sure that the authorities have got access to all of our emails and all their high-tech, very clever, sophisticated forms of evidence gathering. Anyway, that's today's news, and I say to the Independent, you have provided me, and hopefully many of the viewers, with lots of opportunities for laughter and mirth. So, you know, hats off to you guys. We couldn't have written this better ourselves. Keep it coming.